Okay, this is directed light. Pay attention to this right here. This is the shadow of those. It's appearing on the ground, and it's also appearing right here on the column. This is the shadow of those right there. That is engineered light. This is directed light. Okay, think about the Upland Public Library, and you're seeing the shadow of the staircase on the floor and the shape of the windows. This is engineered light, the light taking on the shape of the objects that it's hitting. And this is directed light. This is the column, the shadow of the column diagonally behind. This is engineered light, as though this is then the presence of the sun, and that is sunlight. This is engineered light, and this is also the fake sun. All right, and this is audible activity. That's what the Bright View is engaging in. They're monitoring me. They're stalking with light activity, flashing light, using that means of ongoing audible noise, a leaf blower, doing so in engineered light. This is how an entity is placing you under surveillance. And also, as I've already documented, the entity is stalking by the Ontario Police, who are stalking ceaselessly by helicopter. That is the entity acting vicariously. That is the element of monitoring. And then all of the people of the state, they're all monitoring together while the entity surrounds me with this environment. It is 7:53 in the morning. And let me be clear, while the entity is keeping a fake sun over me, it is an impossible occurrence that sunlight is reaching underneath a covered structure. And what I also documented after 7 o'clock in the evening, that's over 12 hours from now, you're talking about 12 hours later, the entity is engaging in the same conduct, aiming engineered light at that end of the walkway, underneath the walkway, where the entity is acting as though the sun is setting at that corner over there, Euclid and Holt Boulevard. Over the span of the day, 12 hours from now, the sun is setting, and it's in a position such that sunlight is aiming underneath the structure. I've already documented this. And all across the top upper portion of this building, and the shadow of the palm trees, as I documented yesterday, appearing on this very wall. That's engineered light. This is engineered light, and this is impossible light activity. This is the identification of the system. It's the identification of the demon-possessed who surround. And I've also captured what is at 7:54 in the morning. The sun is not going to remain present and be here at what is even 2 hours later. That's a stationary presence of the sun, but I've even documented more than that. When I return to the same Ontario Museum of History and Arts at 1:45 in the afternoon, it's 7 in the morning right now, 1:45 in the afternoon, not the sun. 5:45 p.m., and I'm sitting on the staircase right behind on the opposite side of the same museum. I am literally standing in the same exact position on the opposite side of this building right here, and the fake sun is in the same position at 5:45 p.m., not the sun, okay? And you're talking about at the end of the day, where the people of the state are group stalking, driving in engineered light that's in the middle of the intersection. The fake sun is in alignment with me, following me on whatever route that I take on Route 83. For example, typically coming from Upland, California, and I get off at that bus stop right there at Rio Money Transfer, that building right there. That's the bus stop, right behind where Bright View is group stalking with that truck. And the entity's fake sun is right there over Rich's Second Jewelry and Loan, such that sunlight is aiming and then following and aiming light in this same manner underneath at the same address, underneath the same structure on the side where I am. This is stalking with light, and this is the presence of Satan. This is what you're witnessing. Right? This is not sunlight, and that's not the sun. And I'm also showing you that when you're looking at the pure duration of time. But then you have also, when I am in entirely different cities, such as Chino, California, or Fontana, California, for example, there is a grand departure from any sun that is setting at 7 or after 7 p.m. at this intersection. All right, that's what's going on when I'm documenting the Chino Police on 7th Street in Chino, California. It's right there over me at that street, the 7th Street Theater. That's not going to aim any light underneath what is the walkway of the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, which you already know is not the sun, because the sun is not going to be present or even across the street from the same address where it's present in the morning at 7:50 in the morning. All right, that's the pattern of conduct of stalking with light. You know who stalks with light? The demon-possessed. The demon-possessed are driving J.F. Joint Union High School buses. They're driving SoCal Edison vehicles. They are operating what are Bright View commercial vehicles. They are driving around in their own vehicles, and they're engaged. These are the demon-possessed population. They are engaging in criminal monitoring. They're walking all around me, stalking at the museum, just like you saw that third party. They're engaging in surveillance, sitting in the parking lot in relevant position, monitoring. That's what that third party is doing. That is the Rojas Enterprises group stalking, okay? And this is also where UPS, the YMCA, they're group stalking in their demons. This is state surveillance that I'm revealing. And by the way, 7:50 in the morning, my presence is in an entirely different city in Upland, California, at U.S. Bank at 20 East Foothill Boulevard in Upland, California. The same location, by the way, the same street where the entity is keeping the fake sun at the end of the day, also where I've documented the Upland police who are stalking and terrorizing with helicopters. And the sun is also setting in Upland, California in an entirely distinct location where there would never result in any sunlight underneath that structure. This is how you're looking. That's a full body analysis of what is nothing other than stalking with light. This is what the demon possessed are doing. This is the criminal setting. This is the location where you know their condition and it's demon possession. It's currently 7:57 a.m. This is stalking with light. This is stalking with light. And the Ontario Police Department, that demon-possessed agency engaging in what is reprehensible and unconstitutional criminal activity, are stalking and monitoring, and they're engaging in terrorism. All right, this is the same venue where they're stalking by helicopter. And they're stalking right now as well. They're doing so in concert with the people of the state. It is, again, 7:57 a.m. This is P.O.C.